Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you enjoyed the wonderful breakfast sponsored by Xylem. I am not Lisa Peters. My name... I mean that by no offense whatsoever. My name is Cody Demeray, and I will be this year's convention MC for the 2024 Trade Show and Convention. The theme is Refresh, Renew, and Refocus. For those who were not in attendance last year, I was your keynote speaker for 2023. I was honored last year with a standing ovation. After I shared my life journey through addictions as well as mental health bouts, as a speaker, a standing ovation doesn't happen every day, especially speaking in front of the biggest audience I've ever spoken in front of last year, ×3. This is a brand new role for me as an MC, but the appreciation I received last year was an incredible gift that I was honored with. It helped me step outside my comfort zone this year and accept a new role for 2024. My only goal is to add as much value to this already well-established event. I may hiccup, I may fumble, but my promise to you is I'm going to give it everything I got. As we gather in Regina for convention, I would like to acknowledge that we gather on Treaty 4 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects for the First Nations and Métis ancestries of this territory. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few housekeeping notes. We want all delegates to be safe, so we encourage you to review the safety and security page on the convention app. On the page, you'll find information on fire exits, emergency contact information, and more. If you haven't downloaded the SUMA Convention app, I encourage you to do so, because then you'll have everything you need to know about the convention at your fingertips. The app is available for download in both Apple and Google App Stores. Just search SUMA Convention when logging in. Use the app of the name and the email address that was used for registration for the convention. If you've previously downloaded the app and are having issues, deleting and re-downloading it should do the trick. If you have any issues after that, please try and find some SUMA staff that would be gladly able to help you out. There are a few brand new things on this app this year that may have noticed. The first is the addition of a silent auction bidding platform. SUMA has decided to rebrand the Tuesday evening social event and include a fundraising component to benefit Laurent Mougeot Scholarship Fund. You can use this app to bid on items until Tuesday evening. You can also use the computers set up by the registration desk to bid. The winners will be announced at the gala. The second new item in the app is a social platform. It's called Memory Keeper. This is a photo sharing app where you can share and view photos for the next few days. We encourage you to snap photos over the course of the next 3 days and upload them to Memory Keeper so everyone can enjoy. There is a new twist on the in-app game this year. You will earn points by collecting codes at various locations through the convention. The full list of challenges and locations of the codes can be found in the Challenges tab of the app. If you are having any trouble, visit the help desk and SUMA staff will be happy to help you out. SUMA has several sponsors who help make convention possible through their generous contributions. The sponsors are listed on the SUMA Convention app and on the sponsor cards you see on the tables. You can say thank you to the sponsors by supporting them. Some of the sponsors have booths in the trade show, so be sure to stop by and say hi. Free Wi-Fi is available. To connect, select SUMA delegate from your wireless network and enter the password convention 2024. There's a cell phone charging station provided by SaskTel located in the ITC lobby. While on the topic of phones, please set your cell phones to vibrate or silent and take any calls, conversations into the hall when attending a session. For those who have indicated special meal requirements, A caterer manager or chef will be available at the buffet lines to speak with you regarding any questions or concerns regarding the ingredients or preparation of the food on the buffet. Please do not hesitate to speak with them, as they have been made aware and are happy to discuss any specific requirements you may have. Lastly, we want to make everyone aware that Real strives to meet all dietary needs. Their facility is not a certified allergy-free environment, but they take great care to prevent cross-contamination, but cannot guarantee that it will not occur. They appreciate your understanding and are here to assist you in any way that they can. In a moment, I will ask you to rise for the entrance of our dignitaries and the SUMA Board of Directors, followed by His Honour, the Honourable Russ Mirasty, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, and Her Honour, Donna Mirasty. Following the entrance, please remain standing for the Vice-Regal Salute. Following the Vice-Regal Salute, I will ask you to join in the singing national anthem performed by Teagan, Littlechief. Please rise.
Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good, yourself?
How are you?
Good, yourself? Good morning. Russ, morning. Now, please join me in welcoming Teagan, Littlechief, who will perform O Canada. Delegates, please rise and ensure your hats are removed.
Do you want to do that first? Okay.
I did mention I will slip and I will fumble. That is my first one. I'll try not to happen again. My apologies. We will do the Vice-Regal Salute. Now, please join me in welcoming Teagan, Littlechief, who will perform O Canada. Delegates, please rise and ensure your hats are removed.
Oh, Canada, qui donne ta skin, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, no strong and free. Oh,
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Ms. Teagan. It is now my honor to invite forward Elder Betty McKenna, who will lead us through a prayer. Delegates, please remain standing. Thank you, Elder McKenna. Delegates, you may be seated. It is now my pleasure to invite His Honor, the Honourable Russ Mirasty, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, to the microphone to bring greetings on behalf of the Crown.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you to Elder Betty for the prayer and to Teagan for that powerful rendition of O Canada. Just always so impressive to hear her sing and a cappella and just a powerful voice. President of SUMA, SUMA delegates, and board members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, Tansi, bonjour. It's sure a beautiful morning here in Regina, and Don and I are so happy to join you for the opening of your convention here in Treaty 4 territory and homeland of the Métis. I want to begin by acknowledging our hosts, the Board of Directors, and the staff of the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association. Thank you for the invitation to join you, and thank you for all the hard work, obviously, that went into producing this conference. This major event offers excellent opportunities for networking, and we know that success in all areas, including business and governance, depends heavily upon relationship building. I applaud municipal leaders and representatives who strive to build bridges with their colleagues in other municipalities and other communities, and who work towards achieving common goals. I would also like to say thank you to the mayors and councillors present for your willingness to take on these demanding roles. I admire every one of you for stepping forward and saying that you want to represent your community and make it better for the citizens of that community, and really by extension, making life in Saskatchewan that much better. We know that leadership is never easy. I shouldn't say never, isn't always the case. While you handle immediate issues and crises, you must constantly plan for the long term to manage the needs of your communities as they grow. In the ever-changing environment that we live in, you need to be flexible yet steadfast in what you do. One of the greatest pleasures of being Lieutenant Governor for us, for Donna and I, is to travel around the province and meet people in their own communities. And I want to extend my appreciation for the warm welcome that we receive in your community if we've been there. Just amazing how we are welcomed to join you in different events and functions. The dedicated city manager as well, the people behind the scenes, so to speak, who support those elected, deserve thanks and recognition as well. In addition to advocacy in areas related to municipal government, SUMA provides a valuable forum for dialogue and information sharing. Your convention organizers have done an outstanding job, obviously, again, for bringing all of you together to cover a wide range of topics that are important to you. I was glad to see that the programming involved an excursion to the Legislative Building and Government House yesterday. Two beautiful and historic buildings that we can all be proud of. I am fortunate to have my offices in Government House, a historic building which was built in around 1892 or so. If you haven't had a chance to visit Government House, I encourage you to do so to learn a little bit about Saskatchewan history. I hope that you thoroughly enjoy your time in Regina, and I offer my best wishes for a productive and enjoyable convention and trade show. Once again, my sincere appreciation to each of you for your service to the people of Saskatchewan. Your leadership and willingness to serve to the best of your ability helps to ensure the well-being of your community and the entire province. So in closing, I am pleased to bring greetings on behalf of His Majesty King Charles III, our King of Canada. And in the spirit of friendship and reconciliation, I will share these greetings in my first language of Woodland Cree. Charles Canada. Thank you very much.
Your Honors, on behalf of the Convention Planning Committee and the SUMA Board of Directors, I would like to thank you for the bringing greetings on behalf of the Crown. We appreciate your continued presence at our annual convention, and we are honored to have you attend our opening ceremonies. Thank you both. It is my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the Convention Planning Committee and officially welcome you all to the 2024 Convention and Trade Show. My name is Bob Hawkins, and I serve as SUMA's executive member for Regina and Saskatoon and as councillor for your host city, the City of Regina. I also have the pleasure of serving on the Convention Planning Committee for this year's convention. I want to thank the hardworking Convention Planning Committee, Councillor Bev Dubois, Saskatoon, my colleague on Regina Council, Laurie Bresciani, Councillor Don Looning, Moose Jaw, Mayor Gerald Albers, City of Lloydminster, Mayor Kyle Bennett, Shaunavon, Mayor Brian Matheson from Lumsden, and Councillor Don Cody. Thank you. We are gathered in Regina for convention, and I would like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 4 territory and the homeland of the Métis. SUMA respectfully acknowledges that we live, work, and play on traditional ancestral lands and the lands of the all Indigenous peoples. We make this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation, of gratitude, and of commitment to pursue inclusive and collaborative paths towards building a strong community. The theme of this year's convention, Refresh, Renew, and Refocus. We chose the theme because we are looking to engage all of our delegates here in fresh new ways of thinking, particularly in light of the governance review that we've been undertaking over the last several years with your help, and on which we are going to vote tomorrow afternoon. There's lots more as well going on at this convention. Every year, education ranks as a top reason for coming to convention. We've tried to plan education sessions that are relevant to every region and sector of the province and topics that are wide-ranging from sustainable governance, which we'll hear about today, to cybersecurity. You'll find a full list of sessions on your agenda card. The card is located on the back of your badge with the dates, times, and corresponding room assignments. Networking is another popular reason why we attend convention. Yesterday, you had an opportunity to connect with SUMA Board of Directors through dialogue with SUMA sessions. The resolution session today and the AGM session tomorrow and informal conversations throughout the couple of days will provide other networking opportunities. And then finally, on the last day, on Wednesday, we'll have an opportunity to network with provincial government ministers and the Premier at dialogue sessions and at the Bear Pit. There's also plenty of opportunities to learn from our presenters who will be amongst us over the next several days. Yesterday's events were a great start, and I can't wait for today's events and for Wednesday's events. We're planning on good weather. I'm understanding that I have a challenge for Wednesday, but I'll work on it. As we gather this morning to officially kick off the 2024 SUMA Convention and Trade Show, we are honored to have many special guests in attendance. We have already been honored by their presence of their honors, the Lieutenant Governors. We will also hear from the Mayor of our host city, Mayor Sandra Masters, and from SUMA Assure Board Vice Chair and Mayor from Melfort, Glenn George, and we welcome them on behalf of our opening ceremonies. We're also pleased to have the President of the Federation of Canadian Municipalities amongst us as well. In addition, there are a number of special guests from many MLAs and MPs in attendance and from our SUMA Life members who we honor today. So could we have a round of applause to say thank you for our special guests? During our time together at convention, I encourage you to embrace every opportunity to talk with your colleague councillors and to meet new friends and new councillors who will have ideas that you can use to take back to your home communities. Whether it's during convention education sessions, at breaks, in your sector meetings, or at the President's Gala and Awards ceremony, I encourage you to make the most of your time, to have fun. We welcome you to Regina. Get out, do some shopping, do some sightseeing, enjoy the city, and we welcome you to the SUMA 2024 convention. Cody, I'll now turn it back to you, if I can find you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bob Hopkins. I would like to now welcome Mayor of Regina, Sandra Masters, who is bringing greetings on behalf of our host city.
Good morning, everyone. to your honors. Thank you so much for attending. I have the privilege of running into the honors at a number of events, and so for this convention, I just want to say thanks for having peeps over to your house. I think that's great. But more than that, as the mayor of the capital city, as I said, I have a chance to interact often, and I just want to express my appreciation and utmost respect for the dignity and integrity with which you represent the majesty here in our province. So thank you. To my fellow stage attendees, all the dignitaries, everyone present, on behalf of the City of Regina, welcome. Welcome to the 2024 SUMA Convention and Trade Show, opening ceremonies. More importantly, welcome to our city. You know, for over a century, SUMA has been a leading voice for communities throughout our province. And I just want to thank SUMA, their members, past and present, for their commitment to advocating for communities. And as a resource for training and education and the occasional piece of advice as we reach out. To all of you attending, I just want to express my respect for all local officials. I'm not sure if it's everything that you think you signed up for, but it is what makes the province go around. I think the theme of refresh is a welcome one, that it's not often in our day-to-day, other than your own mayor and council, that you run into folks who are elected to represent and deal with the issues of cities. And so, to my mind, I love the fact that you're in a room with everybody who shares the hope, who shares the optimism. To steal Premier Moe's words, to meander our way through for the doers and dreamers of this province. So thanks for being here. I just want to take a note to say there is a trade show going on the next floor. Please attend. You know, we have challenges and problems, and they have solutions. More excitingly, actually, they have ideas for problems we don't even know we have. Stop in, chat with people. They're here to make those connections and help us do what we do. And thank you to the sponsors. We do know that these things to put on are expensive, and to all of the sponsors that continually step up to support the relationship that we have with them, we're grateful. And to the committee and all of the volunteers, I know the pay is great, but these things don't happen without them. And so if you see someone, if you have a chance to talk to the committee, just express some, a thank you so that they know they're appreciated for the extra work that they do over and above. I'm looking forward to the connections. I'm looking forward to the ideas and the solutions and the ability to speak with a voice that we all have such similar issues to deal with. And we have some unique to us. But in a room where when people are invited, they come, I think that there is a lot of power here within this room. I hope you enjoy your stay. Enjoy the convention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Masters. Our open-end ceremonies are kindly sponsored by SUMA Assure. It is my pleasure to introduce Glenn George, Mayor of the City of Melfort and SUMA Assure Chair, to bring greetings on their behalf.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here on this stage as the chair of SUMA Assure, because we are genuinely more than just an insurance company that sells you an insurance policy. We are partners in keeping communities safe. When you hear community safety, you probably think first responders and emergency management. But what about all the other ways of protecting our communities every day? When you put up barriers to lower speeds around construction zones, that's community safety. Putting mats at the entrance to an arena so folks don't slip on wet floors, That's community safety. Regularly inspecting sidewalks to make sure they're free of hazards. Yes, you guessed it. That's community safety. I think we can all agree that safety is important, right? And not just for the health and well-being of people in our communities, but also financially, because lawsuits are expensive. Fraudulent access to our accounts or ransomware attacks cost us money, time, and trust. It might be cliche, but it's also true that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You see, safe communities are the ones who build risk management into everything they do. And that's where SUMA Sure is walking beside you, beside all of our members, helping you to find and eliminate hazards that cause harm, their communities and their people who live in, work for, and visit. Community safety is thinking about innocent people around us and what we can do to protect them. Risk management is the same idea, and that's what SUMA Sure does best. Let us do some thinking for you. Our in-house experts can see trends, provide information and documents, and let you put safety measures in place before the danger arrives. Say, just for example, you have access to hundreds, maybe thousands of people's personal information. Access to financial accounts that pay for vital services. You want to make sure that no one can get access to those things, right? You want to protect those people and their money and keep your community safe. But maybe you're not sure what threats are out there or what your council and staff would do if a hacker got into your systems. Maybe you don't have IT, insurance, and legal experts on your team. Good news, we do. And we're bringing them right here tomorrow in meeting room 3 at 8:30 a.m. Pretty early, I know. We can show you what it takes to have SUMA Sure as a partner at the Beyond the Firewall Revitalize Your Municipal Cybersecurity Education System. A panel of experts will help you see the hazards and help you on a path to protect your residents, your accounts, and your reputation. You can also visit our experts at booth 152P at the trade show today and tomorrow. They're happy to answer your questions because that's how partners work. Thank you, everyone, for your time this morning, and have a great convention.
Thank you once again, Glenn. That concludes the official opening. Now, I'm in a little bit of a tough position here because, of course, I am born and raised in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, but I now reside, of course, Prince Albert, a little bit of applause. But unfortunately, I did move to the beautiful little town of Birch Hills now. So I am torn between the two of them. So I promise you guys I'm going to do my best to not pick any favorites around here, but I would like to state a little bit of some history from Birch Hills here so far. Joseph Smith for the Hudson Bay Company was sent to this area to trade for furs. He wintered along the Saskatchewan River to the north and assembled 73 canoes for the return trip with the furs to York Factory. The canoes were built with birch from the Birch Hills just south of the river. Now, Mayor Dion, I promise you I will state a couple facts about Prince Albert. Promise, okay? I now have the pleasure of calling forward SUMA President Randy Goulden for the President's Address.
Thank you very much, Cody. Your worship, your honors. To our elder who was with us this morning, to all our distinguished guests here in this hall. And where is Teagan, Littlechief? What an amazing way to start our day together with her rendition of O Canada. That was just, it just gets your heart pumping to be proud Canadians. A big hand for Teagan, Littlechief. So good morning, SUMA. Let me hear it. Good morning, SUMA. So my name is Randy Goulden. I am proud to be a councillor from the city of Yorkton, and I am deeply, deeply honored to be the president of SUMA's board of directors. So this morning, I just want to spend a little bit of time on something that is so important to myself and to all of us, and that's the importance of cooperation and partnerships in all our municipalities, at SUMA, and indeed in life more generally. Now, the definition of cooperation is the process of working together to achieve the same end. As an elected official, we all are faced with a great number of decisions every time we gather. We know that without, we'd get to no resolutions, and nothing would be passed without cooperation and partnership. And nothing would move further. The work would not be done, and nothing would change for the better in all our hometowns across this province. This event that we are now into for the next few days together is a great example of exactly what I'm talking about. Without the cooperation of dozens of people, in particularly the SUMA staff that are always there to help and assist, the convention that we know, the convention that we love, could not happen. We'll see more examples of partnerships and cooperation on Tuesday during the presentation of the Saskatchewan Municipal Awards. I hope you're able to take inspiration from those presentations and apply it in your own communities. Many of the things SUMA does, we do with the help of our partners. While SUMA is the voice of Saskatchewan's hometowns, working with others make our voices as stakeholders together stronger. From a partnership with Eco West that is now allowing us to move ahead with our plans for a municipal climate action change center, to our relationship with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities that adds the Saskatchewan perspective to federal advocacy, our partnerships allow us to accomplish much more than we could ever do on our own. In fact, that's probably something you'll also hear about from this morning's speaker right after me, FCM's President Scott Pearce. We work with many sister organizations. We have with us this morning the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities. Welcome. We welcome the other partners that have joined us today, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, the Alberta Municipalities, and the Rural Municipalities of Alberta. They're all here to bring voice and strength as we gather here that we can take across this country. Those aren't the only partnerships that allow us to add value to what we as an organization offer to our members. I'd be remiss not to mention the purchasing and procurement power that comes from our relationship with Kinetic GPO. With their contracts, they pass along discounts and buying power that our municipalities can benefit from. We have also continued a close partnership with SUMA Assure since it was first created, and to help municipalities, as Glenn George, Mayor of Melfort, just said, access lower cost insurance coverage. And in a way, our relationship with you, our members, can be considered a partnership. You act as our guiding star in terms of advocacy. If you did not share your concerns with us and then trust us to act on them with other orders of government, the entire premise of the organization would fall apart. While SUMA is the one at the meetings, we are there representing you, our partners, our members, in making Saskatchewans' hometowns the very, very best that they can be. Partnership and cooperation can make everyone stronger and better. And so it is with many things in our municipalities, from grants like the Target Sector Support Program, which depends on regional cooperation, to more informal partnerships like emergency response agreements, where many smaller centers pool their resources to keep the entire area safe. Working together is the best and often the only way forward. I would encourage you to keep this in mind this week as you get the opportunity to network with your colleagues from across the province. Perhaps some new partnerships will be formed before the week is over. Now, as Councillor Hawkins said, this is a big year for SUMA. As you will know by now, we are proposing changes to our governance model. Over the last 2 years, we've done a great deal of engagements, consultations, and gathered your feedback to refine what that proposal would look like. And finally, just days ahead, in fact, just 1 day ahead, you will get the chance to vote on those changes. Naturally, this potential shift has influenced a lot of what is happening here this week. And while I don't want to spend too much time talking about the details of convention, I know you've heard a great deal from Councillor Hawkins about what's happening over the next few days. I do want, as Mayor Masters talked about, focus on this year's theme: refresh, renew, and refocus. While our proposed changes in governance, we want to approach 2024 with a fresh, new focus, connecting with you more than ever to increase engagement and provide education on who SUMA is and who we represent. With that in mind, I want to take this time to encourage you to approach any of the SUMA board members and staff for one-on-one conversation over the course of this week. This is one of the only opportunities we have to be in the same room, and we don't want it to go to waste. And I also want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the absolute honor to be president of your SUMA Board of Directors. And on behalf of all those SUMA Board of Directors and staff, I want to welcome you to Yorkton. I want to welcome you to Regina, because I know Cody's going to say something about Yorkton later, and I have my mayor here who's ranking me on how I'm doing. So I want to welcome you to talk to me about any of the SUMA concerns you may have, any of the challenges, but also any of the opportunities that we can have together. I hope you enjoy this, the convention, and have some great networking opportunities. Now it is my pleasure, on behalf of the SUMA Board of Directors and everyone in this room, to invite to the podium just an incredible advocate for his community and for the communities across Canada. So SUMA delegates, please help me welcome the President of the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, Scott Pearce.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. I must say I had a little tear in my eye during O Canada watching municipal leaders from all over this province standing together. It's what a way to start a day. Thanks for that, and the rendition of O Canada was absolutely spectacular. The voice of an angel that I heard this morning just touches me enormously. I want to mention to you that I am a unicorn, an English mayor from Quebec, so thanks for having me. I've had the honor of being president of FCM, and my term is coming to a close. In June, it'll be a good friend of ours, Randy? Jeff Stewart from Nova Scotia will be taking over. And I've had an amazing run at FCM. It's been 15 years I've been on the board there, and I've worked with amazing leaders from Saskatchewan, Jean-Marc and Gerald, Mike Straken that I see over there, and so many of them. And one thing I've always noticed from Saskatchewan is your elected folks show up to FCM with great ideas, but also there's a touch of class. Like, even if someone disagrees, they express themselves in such a classy way that the municipal leaders across this province really show what Saskatchewan is all about. Good values, classiness, and working hard for the people in communities. So thank you to everybody that I've had the opportunity to work with over the years from Saskatchewan at FCM. And obviously one of the ones that I have to talk about is this lady here. It's been 15 years we've been working together. It's been an honor to work with her and to call her a friend, and I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and the help that you gave me over the years. So thank you so much, Randy, for everything you've done. And I'll reiterate what Randy said. For me, it's amazing because in Quebec, obviously, it's the French factor. So we don't really get together with Ontario's elected officials as much because I'd have to translate for 3,000 people, and I just don't have that capacity. But what's really awesome for me to see is my friends from Alberta, Jason and Kevin and Tyler, that show up here at SUMA, and Ray from SARM that comes to SUMA, and the folks from Manitoba that come to SUMA, and you interchange in your organizations, and it just shows that camaraderie, that leadership, that willingness to work together to find solutions on the ground. It's just unbelievable for me to see it. I can't say how proud I am to be a municipal leader when I see you guys go to work every day. Thank you so much for what you do. I want to get to the part of the serious stuff, I guess, is the federal government was supposed to come out with their budget in March, and at that point, they were talking a lot about housing, but nothing about infrastructure. So FCM got to work. They sent myself and Mike Savage, the mayor of Halifax, for Ottawa, where we did a press conference in front of the national media. And we mentioned the fact that housing is not just four walls and a roof. Generally, it's fun when your toilet flushes in the house and when you turn on the tap and water actually comes out. A little bit sarcastic, but I think it needed to be. And, you know, some of the opposition folks were saying things like the mayors are stopping housing. I don't build houses. Trust me, none of you want to live in a house that I build. But we build communities. That's what we do. And that was the message we sent out to the federal government. We build communities. You know, you may have a new neighborhood that's being built for the increasing population, but it's not just the housing that's needed. You need parks for the kids. You need water and wastewater. You need so much around housing. And the FCM did an outstanding job getting that number down, where nationally the average per housing unit for infrastructure is $107,000. Well, 3 days after that press conference, the government decided they're going to delay their budget by a month. And in the meantime, they've announced $1 billion directly into municipalities and another $5 billion for infrastructure. So the FCM did the job. I mean, I'm just a spokesperson. I'm the big mouth. At the end of the day, it's the staff that does the work on the Hill and knocks on doors. And it was so funny to hear where a couple MPs let us know, okay, you can stop knocking at my door. We've got the message. There'll be announcements coming soon. That's always fun when they're so tired of you, they're actually going to give you the money you've been calling for. But aside from that, we're still working on the CCBF, the Canadian Community Building Fund. That's a big one for all of our municipalities. It's $2.4 billion directly into the hands of the experts on the ground, you. I say this often, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but I don't need a bureaucrat from Ottawa or Quebec City telling me what my community needs. I could figure that out with my council and my residents. And that's the same thing for the CCBF. We know our needs on the ground. Just transfer us the money and we'll solve the problems. That's what we are in the municipal level. We're problem solvers. The other thing we've been talking about, and I certainly myself won't stop until and even after my mandate, I'm going to keep talking about it, is the municipal growth framework. As Canada's the population's increasing, as we know, 1.3 million new Canadians last year, that tends to add more money to the coffers of the provincial governments in taxation and more to the federal government in taxation. But for us, it just increases our costs. So we need to have a fiscal framework that's going to work for municipalities going forward. As the economy grows, so should investments into our municipalities. Otherwise, the 5.8 million homes that they're saying we need from now to 2030 will not be possible. Municipalities can't afford, you know better than I do, can't afford $107,000 every time a home is built. It's going to drive municipalities into bankruptcy. So both levels are, the lower levels of government need to come and work at the table with us. So the other thing is flexibility as municipalities. That's what we always ask for, flexibility. Send us the money. We know what to do. No strings attached. We have no problem showing where the money's been spent. We're proud of the work we do on the ground. And we are what I like to call the government of proximity. We're the closest to the people. And we know the needs locally. So we're going to keep battling on that. And there's more work to be done. You know, while the federal and provincial orders of government seem to get a lot of attention, I know from doing this for 20 years that on the ground people look to us for leadership. It happened to me not long ago where a resident in my community, married 56 years, his wife passed away. And over the years he lost most of his friends due to age and having to move closer to the big city for hospitals. And I spent an hour and a half on the phone with him a couple of days after he lost his wife, just to make sure he knew that he was important to our community. And he calls me at least 3 times a week now. He's getting over it. And I've managed to convince him to volunteer in some of our local committees. So the fact that I made him feel important in our community is something that we do. We all do this every day. That's not done in Ottawa. That's done locally on the ground. And that's why I'm proud to be one of you. To show how SUMA is important to FCM, well, obviously they sent me here, which I think they just want to get rid of me, but they have Matt Gemmell here, one of our lead staff members at FCM, and as well, for your trade show, there will be the Green Municipal Fund is there. We have some of our staff folks there. And take a good look at that. There is great funding opportunities for your municipalities there. There really is. For good projects, innovative projects, projects that really improve the quality of life in your communities. So please take a look. And one thing that I've done as president, the thing I'm most proud of, other than arguing with the feds, but we put in something called Trailblazers, and Trailblazers for me is very important. We need to show Canadians how competent we are as municipal officials. And Trailblazers, you can, if you have someone in your community, it could be an employee, a staff member, a council member, the mayor, someone who goes above and beyond the call of duty all the time, well, you can send us the information on that person at FCM. On the website, it's called fcm.ca Trailblazers. And every week or two, I promote and put a highlight on some really incredible municipal people around this country. So when we discuss things with the federal government or provincial governments, we can look at them eye to eye because we know we have some fantastic leaders across this country in the municipal sector. So if you know someone, please send their names in and let us highlight how awesome they are and what a great job they do in their communities and for the country itself. And before I go, the FCM Conference and Trade Shows in Calgary this year, June 6th to 9th, that'll be my last day as president. And then I'll be nowhere, then I'll be past president, so they keep me around for another year. So I'd love to see you all there. It's a great event, and for me as a proud Canadian, watching municipal folks from all over the country share best practices and share our values and try to help each other out, It amazes me every time. I've been doing this for 15 years and I'll never get tired of it. So with that, again, I just want to thank you for all you do, because to me, you are Canada's true leaders. Thank you so much. Have a great conference.
Thank you very much, President Pearce. We always enjoy your passion and your energy, your enthusiasm, and I really also want to say thank you very much for developing the Trailblazers, because we know right now is National Volunteer Week. We also know how important those volunteers are in each and every one of our communities for what they do every day to make our lives just what so good that it is in our communities, and it's many times in part of the volunteers and highlighting them as trailblazers. Thank you, we appreciate that. And also I just wanted to say we are making a donation on your behalf to the Laurent Mougeot Scholarship Fund for all that he did for SUMA and for the municipal leaders and administrators and people in this province and across Canada. So we will be making a donation in your name to that scholarship. So thank you, Scott, for being here. And I hope you get home okay, because we want you to be at the forefront of the feedback and the input from municipalities to the federal government that's coming down tomorrow with the federal budget. So thank you for everything you do. I appreciate it, and so do all the members of SUMA. A big hand for Scott. Okay. All right, Cody, I'm Cody. I'm turning this back over to you.
Thank you very much, President Goulden. For how many times I have to say your name for the next 3 days? I think we might become best friends after this.
It's Randy.
Yep.
Just call me Randy.
Randy. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I thought I pronounced something wrong. Another fumble there, unfortunately. We're almost at our first break. In a moment, I will ask everyone to rise for the departure of the Vice-Regal Party. Please remain standing until the Vice-Regal Party has departed. Our platform party will then take their seats in the audience, and we'll run a brief test vote for this afternoon's resolutions before our break. Please rise for the departure of our Vice-Regal Party. I will now invite our platform party to take their seats in the audience. If you're a voting delegate, I encourage you to take your phone out, as we are going to run a test vote to make sure we're ready for resolutions later this afternoon and tomorrow's AGM. I am now going to turn things over to Brandon Gallagher from Data on the Spots, DOTS, who is going to explain how voting will work.
All right, thank you everybody. I am Brandon from Data on the Spot. I'd just like to start by expressing DOTS's and myself and the other Brandon who's behind the screen there, our gratitude for allowing us to be a part of your convention now and for the last few years. It's always really exciting for us to be here, especially in Saskatchewan, Regina. It's my first time. So we're actually just going to play a short video that's going to explain the voting a little bit better than I can. So I'll just ask them to just roll that video for me.
Voting instructions. Credentials. You will have received voting credentials via email from credentials@dataonthespot.com. This contains your unique elector ID and password. If you're having any trouble locating your credentials or having any difficulty at all, please reach out to the DOT support staff by emailing credentials@dataonthespot.com. This is an example of a credentials email. When you open the email, there are a couple pieces of information that you may want to write down for quick reference during the meeting. There is a direct link to the voting website. Also, there is your unique elector ID and password. When the chair calls for a vote, you are going to navigate to your voting website. Once on the voting website, you're going to enter in your elector ID and password and click the green Login button. When a vote is open and active, it will appear in blue under the current ballot section, and it will say Vote Now. If you do not see a current ballot available, simply click the Next Vote button near the top of the page next to your name. This will refresh the page and reveal the current active ballot. To open the ballot, simply click on the blue Vote Now text. Once the ballot has been opened, make your selection by putting a check mark next to your choice or choices. Click Continue to see a summary of your selection. This is your last chance to change your mind. If you are happy with your selection, click Confirm. You know that your vote has been received when you see the green Success check mark. At this point, you can navigate back to the video portion of the meeting and await the results. Thank you, and have a great meeting.
All right, so the most important pieces of information from that video are definitely going to be the green success check mark that you're going to receive. That's how you know that your vote's been cast. As well as the next vote button at the top of your screen is going to be really important as well. As once you're logged in, you stay logged in for about 40 minutes or so. But if we go on a break or there's no voting, you'll have to log back in. But if you are already logged in, again, it's just the next vote button at the top of your screen. So the test vote is open now. It should be titled Official Opening Test Vote. If you don't have your credentials or have a little bit of trouble with the voting, I'll just be in the back right there by the corner, or I think I may move around. Just look for me with the DOT shirt on. I'll be happy to help you. And yeah, thank you very much, and again for the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. So for our test question, we have for 2024, I am most looking forward to Rough Riders season, the lake, Craven Country Thunder, the summer, or elections. Out of a room like this, I'm quite curious to see how many people are a little bit more interested in the voting coming up soon here. You will have a few minutes to vote, and then we will share the results of the test vote. Remember, if you are a voting delegate and having any trouble voting or require a device to vote, please see the other Brandon from DOTS at the back of the table here in the main hall. Electronic voting will be used in resolutions and the SUMA AGM, so it is important to ask any questions or seek any help if having any trouble with the electronic voting system.